Alright, man, welcome back to another reaction. Today we got a wannabe gangster realizes he's going to jail. Now these videos are always absolutely fucking great, so like always, let's not waste any time, just get right to intro this one, man.
Are supposed to be seen as tough thugs. Gangsters are supposed to be seen as tough thugs with little regard for the law. But what happens when fake gangsters are faced with real prison time?
Here we go, this is gonna be great.
These are three never-before-seen examples of when wannabe gangsters realizing...
Just want to say, we did watch this one. I can't remember what video it was, but I do remember this motherfucker's face. We have watched this one.
They'll be serving prison time, starting with the case of 18-year-old Conrad Troja, who in September of 2010 was leaving school when he was approached by a man holding a handgun. Conrad was ordered to take off his bag and hand it over, but when he refused, he was shot in the chest by the man. Miraculously, Conrad managed to stumble away from the scene and call for help before collapsing and dying on the spot.
Bruh.
The suspect fled immediately, but was later identified as Edtavion Wilcox, who was brought in for attempted murder. But as it turns out, he wasn't all that tough in the interrogation room.
Alright, here's the deal. You know something else happened. I don't sit here and talk to you without knowing what the deal is, alright? We've been talking to people, we've been interviewing people, we've been showing people pictures, we've been looking at video. I didn't bring you up here because you weren't wearing your seatbelt, okay? You got arrested for a burglary before and they didn't even bring you up here. Obviously, it's something a little more serious.
Wilcox is trying to remain calm and pretend as though he's got no idea what this is all about. Little does he know, his getaway driver had also been apprehended and confessed
he's
to
full
everything.
snitched.
Now the
detective
just has to find a way to get him to confess as well.
This is going to go one of two ways. You're either going to be a guy who made a mistake, hanging around the wrong place, the wrong time, did something dumb, or you're going to be a guy that goes out and likes to shoot people for fun, okay? Listen, and before you say anything, I think you're a guy that made a mistake. I know you were there, okay? I know what happened. I talked to the victim. The victims picked you out of a photo lineup and said, that's the guy that shot me, okay? Here's the deal. I don't think you shot that guy because you're a bad person. You didn't mean to kill that guy, okay? What happened was, is you were just trying to snatch his backpack, he started fighting with you, and you got scared.
So, y'all saying I shot someone?
I know you shot somebody.
Imagine you're an 18-year-old kid who got in over their head and ended up shooting and killing an innocent civilian. No matter who you are, you'll be feeling scared. A feeling that'll only be amplified when a police officer asserts that they know exactly what happened. Wilcox will be feeling rattled now. As the cop talks, he's slumped over in his chair, implying he's interested in what the cop is saying, and as soon as he's allowed to talk, all his responses sound confused and even bewildered. The cop knows he has him on the back foot. Now he just needs to close it out.
You're 18, right? You're 18, yes?
Yeah.
This is where you need to stand up and be a man and admit you made a mistake. I know you weren't trying to kill that guy. I know that, because you're not the kind of guy that does that. You panicked. You got scared. You got in over your head.
I really, like, he's really just trying to get, I mean, obviously, we've seen this time and time again, where the detective's only goal is to get the truth out of the victim, right? So if he's gonna fucking, you know, act like, oh, I know you're not da 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 da, he's gonna say and do whatever he can to get this motherfucker to confess.
Victim's making you out to be a stone cold, just straight up thug killer, guy that doesn't give a crap about anybody else. All right.
I could have stayed big late for this shit.
Oh my God, this guy's gonna start.
Man.
If you keep going down the path you're going down, telling me you didn't have anything to do with it, it's not you, who are people going to believe?
I don't blame him,
Are they going to
bro.
believe you, or are they going to believe the victim?
By the way, I wouldn't blame him if he started crying. His life is ending in front of his eyes. Like, I would not blame him if he started crying.
Have to believe the victim because you didn't give me your side of the story.
Wilcox is being pushed into a corner. The detective is using the facts that he knows Wilcox is just in over his head, but is using language in such a way that makes him feel like he's accused of being this cold-blooded monster. His reactions to this prove just how well this technique is working. He stares at the ground, implying shame, and rubs his head in a pacifying behavior that shows how stressed he is.
A guy that sits there like you is not a guy that goes around and kills people. You understand what I'm saying? You have remorse. You're sorry. I can see it on you. You just need to take that next step. What happened in that parking lot? Did you guys plan it? Or did it just happen?
back.
Huh?
They try to go back to jail. No,
I can't. What'd you say?
They try to go back to jail.
Don't here. Remember how we talked about that? Don't think about that. That's the least of your concerns right now.
In a breakdown that's far from gangster, Wilcox starts to cry and laments on how he absolutely can't go back to jail. The detective uses this moment of vulnerability to press him further and
Nice.
tells him he has one last opportunity to be honest
You just need to take
and
the
let
next
everybody
step.
know that
Holy.
he isn't the monster they think he is.
Do you say stop hitting me or I'm gonna shoot you? Or anything like that?
I was like, I had my hand like right here.
No, you had your left hand like up against him,
Yeah.
trying to push him away.
I was trying to make him stop hitting me.
Where was the gun?
In my pocket.
Which pocket?
This one.
How many times did you shoot? What happened after you pulled the trigger? Did he fall down or
No,
Man,
was he still
holy
standing
shit.
up? Where'd you hit him?
I didn't even know I hit him.
Okay. So you fired that one round. What happened?
I just froze up.
You just froze up?
And just like that, Octavian Wilcox confessed to shooting Conrad Tohan and was sentenced to life in prison, all over a school bag. But while he'll be spending the rest of his life in prison,
It's so crazy that, like, thankfully he gets life in prison, right? I'm glad he gets life in prison. But we've seen multiple cases where motherfuckers only get 25 to life. And that means they have possible parole after 25 years. That means they can possibly get out of jail after 25 years. That is unacceptable, in my opinion. You should, exactly like this guy, you should get fucking life no matter what. Rest of your life, you take a life, rest of your life is in prison, period. Don't care.
shooting Conrad Tohan and was sentenced to life in prison, all over a school bag. But while he'll
Man.
be spending the rest of his life in prison,
Over
Demetrius
some dumb
Cox
shit
wasn't
like
so
that.
lucky.
Look at
Throughout
this
the
fucking
beginning of
goober.
2020,
This guy
a
looks
war
like a
between
goober,
rival
man.
gangs 438 and AFNF began to break out. Many shootings were reported, with dozens of deaths attributed to just these two gangs, with one of these occurring on the 14th of April. Shots were fired at a house party in Davenport, Florida, resulting in the death of 20-year-old Wolf Luma. The killer was identified almost immediately as Demetrius Cox, also 20 years old. 2 weeks later, Cox was brought in on the suspicion of murder, and an interrogation began, ending in one of the most shocking moments in interrogation history.
Dang, dude.
Sure, I do.
You can shake my hand?
I can.
And I didn't shake your hand before because we weren't able to, but now we can, right?
Open and close.
Yes, sir. Number
Oh,
one,
great.
I gotta tell you, I'm pretty impressed
This fucking guy.
of the way the, just overall, your persona as it is.
Yes, sir.
So, I appreciate the respect. It's gonna be given right back to you, okay?
Okay.
Cox starts the interrogation out respectfully, but as the interview continues, he starts to annoy the detective by withholding information that could get members of his gang into trouble. This type of loyalty is extremely common in these types of cases, but can prove to work against you, as is seen just a few minutes later.
I'm not saying you went there for the wrong reasons. However, man, I tell you one thing. You know how they say, like, victims, and suspects, things like that? I thought that you were a victim.
What?
Yeah, but now y'all make it seem like I'm a suspect.
No. I thought you were a victim.
Crazy.
I thought you were a victim, and I thought that you were gonna give us the justification, the explanation for what happened.
Listen.
But you come in here and you can't even with little details like that. Like, who cares? Well, if Papa Jay's there, why can't you just be honest and say, yeah, he was there. He was chilling.
We hung out.
So
But I got another question
what's
for you.
so like hard about the truth?
What's interesting about this case, though, is that the cop actually isn't 100% sure that Cox is the killer. As Cox mentions earlier, most of the evidence in the case
Actually,
is
I want to go watch this one. I've never watched this one, man.
hearsay, and detectives could have a hard time using it in court. This is why Cox is here in the first place. If they could extract a confession, it'd make their lives a whole lot easier. But Cox isn't budging.
Okay, listen. If you want to tell me what happened, I'm all ears, bro.
I just tried to tell you what happened when we watched.
Listen, look at me in my face. Look at me in my face.
You not.
If you tell me the truth, I will believe you. But
What?
there's an explanation for what happened.
So you.
That's like, if you tell me the truth, I will believe you. But how do you know if what he's telling you is the truth? That doesn't even make sense. That statement didn't make sense at all that the detective just used. If you tell me the truth, I will believe you. Buddy, you don't know. Isn't the whole point of talking to him to figure out the truth? So you don't know what the truth is. So how do you know if what he's telling you is the truth? You don't.
Look at me in my face. Look at me in my
Sorry,
face.
that was dumb.
If you tell me the truth, I will believe you. But
This
there's
is
an
the
explanation
dumbest
for what happened.
statement I've ever heard.
So you trying to say I'm the explanation or something? That's what I'm asking.
It's like you're hearing me, but you're not listening to me. Listen to
I'm
what I'm
listening to you,
saying.
but you're not letting me. You gotta
Listen to
break
me.
it down for me. Please
Listen
just
to
break
me.
it down.
Listen to me. Okay. I think that you might have been a victim. But I cannot believe a victim when they leave little things out, little details about that night.
Well,
Okay?
Mister, I told you all I know.
Some bad happened, man. Some bad.
I understand what
And
you're
I don't
saying.
think that you forced it. I don't think that you or your buddies or anybody else, well, maybe you're running your mouth a little bit, but it wasn't justified what happened, okay?
Eventually, the detective decides that he's not going to get anything else out of Cox and calls off the interrogation. But that's not where the case ends. In fact, the most interesting but tragic part happened just hours after the interrogation
This motherfucker's gonna get killed, huh? 100%.
was held. Later that day, Cox was released on bail, but 11 hours later, he was shot and killed by another gang member.
I fucking knew it, man. In retaliation to what he did. That's wow. I mean, holy fuck, man. That's just so sad to hear. Right when he said it, though, like right when he said the most whatever the fuck, like
Interrogation was held. Later that day,
Literally,
Cox was released
That's how you know that he actually did it. He was killed in retaliation, literally.
on bail, but 11 hours later, he was shot and killed by another gang member. Meaning, if he had actually confessed, he just might have spared his own life, even if it was spending that life in prison. But while Cox may have kept it together in his interrogation and preserved his gangster image, the same cannot be said for Cody
Oh, this
Formentown,
fucking
a
guy.
gangster
Here we
whose
go.
crime was littered with errors and stupidity from the very start. After his phone was stolen at a convenience store, Cody went on a tyrannical rampage around his area looking for any signs of the stolen device. Surveillance footage captured him walking past 15-year-old Deshaun Hills, pulling a gun from his backpack and firing 3 shots at the boy, killing him instantly.
Bruh.
Witnesses and surveillance footage helped police identify Cody almost immediately, and he was quickly brought in for interrogation.
Like I said, what I just did was the people yesterday, these motherfuckers was able to do.
This guy's a fucking bozo too, chat. This guy's an absolute fucking idiot. I remember this one. This one's fucking.
Do this to me. They was able to look at.
Okay. I'll take a look at this in a second.
I'm saying, look how they do me.
Okay.
Look how they do me. They just kicked my mom's door open, man.
Well, they didn't kick your mom's door open.
Yeah, they did, man.
No,
I was on the phone, man, with somebody while it happened, man.
We were there.
on,
We
man.
were there at your mom.
Come on, man. I said, like I said, man, I ain't about that.
Okay, you're
I
not.
don't gang bang. I don't do, you know what I mean? I ain't with the guns.
Cody here is referring to a search warrant that was used by police to gain access to his mother's house and collect evidence. While his anger about this is likely from a place of truth, he's also using it as a way to try and argue his innocence. This is also backed up by the fact that he immediately tells the cop that he has nothing to do with gang activity or guns. But it won't take long for this facade to fall apart.
Nice.
We're here because you're involved with this murder. You've told people. That's why you're here. That's why you're
You're
not in
such a
Minneapolis.
bozo, bro.
Okay. We have talked to people. All right.
Man, check it out.
That have put you there at the scene. There's video of you at the scene.
The whole time.
The whole time. Okay. We know why you're there.
I ain't buying it, man.
You're not buying it.
ain't buying
I'm not
it.
here to lie to you, though.
I ain't
Why
buying it.
would I lie to you?
I ain't buying it.
You're on video. Okay, people are talking to you. You're talking to them. Okay?
You approach people and talk to them.
On the evening of the murder, Cody had been walking around the area asking people if they saw the person that took his phone and aggressively confronting people that he suspected. He was also clearly seen on surveillance footage at multiple stores and businesses in the Minneapolis area, so any arguments he has here that he was elsewhere are completely invalid.
Like I said,
Cody.
I ain't like I said.
Cody, all we're trying to
Y'all
do.
know it all.
Here's the thing.
Y'all know it all.
Can I just say something? If I was sitting in your chair and I had.
Dude, I got mercy, dude.
Hold on a
I
second.
got mercy, dude.
Hold on.
Look at this shit.
Sit down.
Look at this shit.
Sit down.
Look at this shit.
Yep, sit down.
It's crazy. So, hey,
Just sit
really,
down for
I
what?
don't even want.
I don't think he meant mercy. I think he meant MRSA, but I don't really know what MRSA is. I think that's a disease. I'm like 95% sure that that is a disease. But
Like,
I
here's
don't
the
know
one
really
thing.
what
I'm
it is.
mad.
One thing,
I'm
hold
so
on.
fucking mad right now. No, I was supposed to. PRT. Ooh. Then y'all come talking about some goofy
This guy's a fucking woo. Shut the fuck up, you bozo. Oh my god, this guy's an idiot.
Goofy. It's a murder.
Some goofy shit.
It's a murder.
Some goofy shit. Like I ain't never.
Okay. Well, here's what I'm gonna say, just before we go, okay? Was that if I was sitting in your chair and I had two people asking me where I was on a specific day, and they're saying that I did a murder.
That's what Durfee did with me just yesterday.
I'm not talking about Durfee.
I'm saying if you ask me what I ate for dinner, I might not remember.
Also take a look at Cody's language and demeanor in general. Right from the start, he's been defensive and attempting to combat every single thing the detectives have said to him. Instead of respectfully listening to their points and trying to give counters to the cops' evidence, he either talks over them or just says, "I don't believe you," and fails to give any evidence in his defense. If Cody was innocent,
That's a great way to
he'd
go about
likely
it.
be doing everything he can to stay
Yeah, no, that's a great way to go about it. Surely he got away, right?
on the cops' good side and help them out by providing evidence that would acquit
Fucking
him.
some
And as
people
it
are
turns
just
out,
fucking idiots.
he was about to start providing evidence. Evidence that would send him straight to jail.
Wait, what? I don't remember this.
You were by Wally's,
I
absolutely.
was by Wally's.
You were?
But y'all
Oh,
don't
here.
know the story.
Oh yeah, cause he freaked out. Yeah, he freaked out and
The motherfucker supposed to be in the mother face, stole my phone, all that stupid shit. That don't mean I pulled the mother trigger. Just because some people say some shit, that's what it is. That's what it is.
this guy.
So y'all gonna go with the you here anyway. I was over at the store and I got fucking my. That's what that was.
Who jumped you?
I don't, like I said, I don't know.
When-
That don't make me no murder.
When-
I called my big cousin. My big cousin come get me. What it look like? I said one was, I don't. Nothing came with it.
When
You
did-
act like can I pull the trigger on somebody?
When did you
I
get
ain't-
jumped, or when did you get your stuff robbed? Cody, so somebody jumped you for your phone, right? Did they get anything else from you? Or did you have money? Did you have...
Wallet, ID.
Man, check it out. Arguing with my.
This guy is so fucking.
In an outburst of more anger, Cody has just put himself right next to the scene of the crime and given the officers a motive for the
Yep.
murder. For
Instantly.
the next 4 minutes, Cody scrambled to get himself out of the hole he just dug himself into. But it was already too late. With the evidence they already had, plus what essentially amounted to a full confession, Cody was found guilty of murder and sentenced to 38 years behind bars.
Yeah, see, this shit is so fucking dumb to me, bro. The video's over, right? Video just ends, right? So, one, Dr. Insanity. It's a fucking great video, like always. But the main thing is, dude, 38 years for murder is not enough. How do you get 38 years? Are you fucking kidding me? Dude, give him life, man. Why are we not giving life to people who are murderers, who literally fucking convicted murderers? Like, what are we thinking? It's fucking absolutely absurd to me, man. It fucking blows my mind. A motherfucker can kill someone and then get out after 25 years. That just is fucking dumb. 38 years right here. This is just fucking ridiculous. It's not even, he's not even 25 to life. It's just 38 years. Like, how? This, oh my god, it fucking bugs me, man. It bugs the shit out of me. Well, yeah, that was a great video, like always. Goddamn. Yo, hey, make sure to go subscribe to Dr. Insanity if you haven't already, man. Goddamn, what an absolute fucking banger, like always, man. Hey, yo, if you liked the video, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you next time, man. Deuces.